Good afternoon, everyone. Can I get a quick mic check here? Sorry, no intro music, but I just wanted to jump on here real quick and go over the ORB trade, the opening range breakout trade for today. Put a 5 in chat if you did do the opening range break today. And then put a 2 in if you stopped out of the opening range break today. Okay. So I kind of want to go over this because for those of you who stopped out of the opening range break, because as you can see, this is the 15-minute opening range break. And for those of you who stopped out, we popped up here, and we put it on a 5-minute candle so that we can talk about it the way it's supposed to be. Hold on a minute. Let's go to a 5-minute. Okay. So this is our 5-minute candle. We obviously didn't get it here, right? So no, an entry didn't happen there. And then what happened is this 5-minute candle here, right, came back and it closed above the opening range break. And so that was an entry signal. Well, what happened, and I got in there for, I think I got $1.10 on that entry as it broke through there and that 5-minute candle closed. And then we drifted and it got pretty dicey as we came into the level down here at the bottom, and kind of bounced around, right? There's a couple of things, and so if anybody here got in for like $1 or $1.10 and excuse me, and stopped out at $2 or $2.20 or whatever, I just want to say that you should pat yourself on the back, because you did a good job managing risk, right, in a dicey situation down in here when it was right at that $2 mark, $2.10 mark for the spread that we were in. And if you had a hard stop in, that's totally fine. Chalk that up to doing a really good job managing your risk. Okay, because had you not managed risk and this had broken down, you got, let's say you got $1 for this. Wow, that's a terrible zero. Your risk, your total risk was $4. So if you're not managing risk in this situation, you got to look at yourself. So if you were one of the people that stayed in, and this popped up and took it off at 55 cents or 50 cents or whatever up into this region, I mean, congrats. I think that's awesome. But my question is, when we were down here, were you sitting there watching it like a hawk to make sure it didn't break your level? Like, I never saw, I saw a tick for 210, but I never saw 215. As I was watching this play out. So, I was holding, but I had my finger on the button, ready to try and exit if this thing dropped down, because I want to manage risk, right? So the point being, this is an OPEX week. This is a choppy OPEX day. And there's people in here that are saying, and that's why I didn't even announce my exit, because I don't want these people that stopped out here to feel like you did anything wrong. Are those of you that stopped out, are you following me? I would actually say you learned something more important than the people who happen to take profits today, and that is you managed your risk in a trade that has an inverted risk reward profile. Okay. And the only reason I held was because I was watching basically tick by tick to make sure this thing didn't break down. And I was ready to go. So if you're one of those people, inversely, if you're one of those people that took profits of here and you weren't watching tick by tick, you were just hoping that this thing would work out, you got to kind of look at yourself and, yeah, today you made profits, but how much of that really, look at yourself, how much of that was luck versus just kind of really watching this closely and being ready to take it off, right? So I just kind of wanted to go over that because this is not a normal opening range break day in the sense that normally we get kind of a clean break, and we're usually into those 50-55% profits within 15 to 30 minutes, right? It just kind of makes its move. And today it was real choppy and real dicey. So I just wanted to take a minute and kind of come on and clarify that because the people that did stop out here, I don't want you to feel the FOMO of some people that did take profits up here and say, well, next time I have to hold longer. I would argue you don't. I would argue you're going to be better off in the long run by diligently managing your risk. And some days they're going to do this and it's not going to work, and that's okay. Yeah, Bobby, I did. And so a lot of times what I'll do during OPEX week is size down just because I know it's going to be choppy, or I'll take profits earlier. So I'll take profits into 30 to 40 cents into the move, right? Versus a full 50%, just because I want to make sure that I'm taking winners, right, and taking profits, and not putting myself into trouble on a week where we kind of know there's going to be chop and range. So is that choppy will work on time? Can L, I don't understand your question. But yeah, there was a lot of talk in here about stopping out, and they've got people saying that, well, I gotta figure out how to do this better. I think if you stopped out today, I think you should pat yourself on the back, because that's a skill that not a lot of people that are new to trading possess, is the ability to just cut it when it's not working. And we were not working at this point, right? So I just want to make sure that those people that did stop out realize that they did something correct today. And for those that didn't and stopped out, just look at yourself and make sure you were really watching it closely here when it didn't quite get to those levels. If you had a hard stop in, it would have taken you out. But you were ready to go, and it worked out in your favor. Then that's a great trade. If you were just not watching it and hoping for the best, then I would say you got lucky today. So this kind of like those three positions. Did well managing trade, both from a stop loss perspective and a winner today, and or did you get lucky? And then if that's the case, factor that into how you place your next trade. Any questions there? VRT? No, but I'll look at it right now. MP just it wants to bounce, but it's not quite doing it. Hold on. VRT. Oh boy, I can tell I'm gonna like that on like a 78. Yeah, maybe 130. Ooh, She's a Jew. Oh, look at that. Yeah, I like that a lot, Nate. I went. The MP play is this week's options. Not quite a lotto, but close. No, I don't roll up the verticals. Um, I just put them on and take them off. Pretty simple. I mean, generally, I'd like to be in and out within about an hour. And if that's the main trade I'm doing for the day, then I've got the rest of the day to myself. Go golfing, spend time with the family, whatever. Okay, I'm sorry this was so quick. I have to jump out. I have an appointment here in about 15 minutes. But I just wanted to cover that before I did jump out. So I will talk to everyone later, and I'll try and maybe come back on a little bit later today.